It's that time of the week when we touch base with a fund manager and discuss an interesting fund or a well-performing fund essentially. We have Jay Shroff, fund manager SBI, joining us to discuss the SBI Magnum Fund, and Jay has joined us to discuss the performance of the fund so far. Jay, good to have you on the show. The fund has given good returns from a year-to-date, 6-month and a 3-month perspective. What has led to the outperformance?
No, so I think our sector selection and stock selection both have worked very well, and that's not only for this year. I think we've been doing well over last 3 years also. In fact, the fund has a great track record over 20 years because there's one of the oldest funds, not only from our fund house but in the industry, and it's got a very, very good track record. So I think what has worked for us both in case in this year as well as over last 3-4 years is that both our stock selection as well as sector allocations have been giving us positive alpha.
The fund has given good returns YTD 6 months as well, and then you look at what are your key holdings. So example, private banks are your key holdings, nearly 10% plus. They haven't been outperformers this year. The rally is focused on PSU banks until now. Do you think that can change, and would that warrant changes in your portfolio?
No, so we're maintaining our stance of being overweight private sector banks because we think that the problem with PSU banks in terms of capitalization, in terms of NPAs is still not behind us, and we may still have some more amount of pain left for them. So we will still sticking to quality even within private sector banks.
I also see Tata Motors DVR as part of your top holdings. Is the discount a key driver for holding the DVR versus the cash stock? Is that the opportunity that you're capitalizing?
Yeah, so I think primarily we are positive on Tata Motors as a story, primarily again because of the JLR story. Next year, we have launch of smaller Jaguar, which could actually catapult Tata Motors into a big league of likes of Audis and BMWs of the world in terms of the volumes that this car can generate. So, and apart from that, I think the Land Rover story is playing out beautifully. So we are extremely positive on that stock, and we're playing that through DVR, of course, because of the discount that DVR offers to the main stock, and we think that this discount is unwarranted.
There is also more exposure to large caps which have done well YTD, but what's the potential of further upsides on some of these?
No, I don't think the returns of any fund would be capped because of the exposure to a large cap or a mid cap or small cap, whatever that may be. So it's a conscious strategy that we run this fund as approximately 65% large cap, 35% mid cap, plus minus 5%. So usually we operate in that tight band of large caps and mid caps. And as and when the India story starts playing out, as and when the stocks that we've selected, the sectors that we are overweight on, those stories start playing out, I think fund will keep on delivering returns. So there's no question of having cap in terms of the returns that the fund can generate.
What sectors are you overweight or underweight on as part of this fund right now?
So as of now, we are overweight capital goods, we are also overweight telecom, and we are overweight healthcare.
And just what are you underweight on, if we can wrap up the discussion with that?
And underweight is oil and gas is our underweight, and metals is our underweight.
There's also a more exposure, almost double exposure to mid caps versus the benchmark. How do you then de-risk the portfolio?
Yeah, so the fund, of course, does not mimic the benchmark, and if you see the exposure of mid caps in the benchmark is actually very, very low. In terms of de-risking, I think the de-risking happens primarily by having a good portfolio of stocks that we select within the mid caps. So if you see, the fund is positively biased towards quality of holdings, and we look at the quality of management whenever we invest, and we've not gone down the quality curve, or we've not got and bought junk in this fund. So I think that's our strategy of capping the risk because of higher exposure to mid cap. In any case, as I said, that consciously we are running this fund as about 65% large cap and 35% mid cap. So that's the strategy of running this fund.